What's up, y'all? It's Nifty Q. That's Gift Ed. We're here with another daily rehash. It is Tuesday, December 12th. We're in Happy Holidays territory. We're chugging along through the week. A lot of things happening that we're just about to cover. What's up, Gif?
Yeah, man, we're going to make some dreams come true. We're going to do some unsolicited sports commentary on Manchester United's Champions League fumbles.
Wow.
No, we're not doing that here. We got the 10 top stories in Web3 from the last 24 hours, though. That's the daily rehash, and we're going to get into it. What's up first today?
All right, so we have the narrative this week is essentially what's the next Solana? What's the next GTO? Everyone's talking Avalanche. Everybody's talking Arbitrum, Cosmos. Another chain that we've been slowly kind of getting our fingers on, no pun intended there, is Base Protocol. So we are essentially looking at a airdrop for the Seamless protocol for users. This was an Aave fork, so essentially lending and borrowing of assets. This is essentially one of the first native lending and borrowing platforms that's popped up, and you can see there was a pretty strong airdrop. So maybe they already had their GTO moment over there on Base. They've already had the Jack Butcher stuff we've been covering. There's a lot of things happening. Brian Armstrong came out and said they're going to use the protocol for TradFi and some other pieces. So maybe Base is picking up steam.
Yeah, hopefully me one day. We're just diving straight into the weeds of DeFi here on the first story. But hey, this is another big airdrop, and congrats to those who got it. I think you're right. Base is probably going to be an interesting one, and AVAX is picking up. There's a lot of other ones to talk about that we'll be covering off on, but we're going to keep this going for now onto the next story and talk about Exiled DeGods. I didn't know that they actually had created their own collection, and of course, we're referring to the DeGods that remained behind on Solana when they initially moved. So yes, the Exiled DeGods have now been in touch with Frank and the team to make sure that they claim their independence, because there is officially talk, and yes, we did predict that it might happen. There is talk that there might be a bridge back to Solana for DeGods coming full circle now. Imagine that. But the Exiled DeGods want to keep their historic value as the ones that stayed.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on NFT Live today talking about this. People are torn on the decision for Frank to kind of come out and say, all right, this is what we're doing. Essentially, we're going to allow people to bridge back to Solana. It's like, make up your mind, dude. You stay on Ethereum, stay on Polygon, stay on Solana. Like, we really don't know where they're going. They've been the most traveled collection. It is a cool case study to watch from the outside, but I think collectors are maybe a little bit fed up, man.
Yeah, it's a wild story.
All right, so Prime is a team that's actually executing phenomenally here. Planetfall is coming out tomorrow. This is essentially their second season. Everything you've been seeing from Prime up to this point has been their first season release of cards. They're dropping hundreds of new cards onto the market. I'm interested to see what this does to the meta of people playing the game, but it's certainly energy is high. There's a bunch of pack revealing streams that are going to be live tomorrow. We might be able to do some of that. It's at 9:30 in the morning. But yeah, a lot of things happening in the parallel ecosystem. Also, Prime hit 940, 950 on price. Not financial advice. I'm expecting that to continue running if we see the GameFi narrative continue to take off.
Right on, man. Dude, Parallel just doing so good. And dude, that new trailer that they dropped is absolutely fire. Getting to see some Shroud faction in there. But all right, we'll keep it going for now. Base is apparently looking to entice Wall Street to use their L2 tech to bring TradFi assets onto the blockchain. You can see here is an article from CoinDesk about this very thing. I think they always had this in the plans. I think this was absolutely always their plan with Base, because they're setting themselves up nicely, in Washington and in the US as basically the go-to Web 2.5, slightly centralized, at least controlled enough, but with access and inroads into Web 3, full infrastructure, everything built out. They are the ones and positioning themselves to be the ones to bring on a lot of the traditional finance world into blockchain.
Yeah, I wonder what that will look like in real time, right? We're going to have obviously the public mainnet that's going to have all of these degen protocols, these DeFi farms, and how does that exist and coexist essentially with all of these TradFi well-regulated things that need to happen on the chain? I think it might be a private blockchain on Base. So I think, overall, this is really bullish. I think the main thing I'm looking at is that Seam, the token that we just covered, got the immediate Coinbase listing to Gift Ed. So that might be
Wow.
something that, you know, kind of works into tokens that launch on that protocol's favor.
Yeah, they got built-in distro. Yeah, what Coinbase is doing is tremendous, and that's why their stock price has shot up like it has. RIP to all the shorts out there who were fudding it and thinking crypto was going to zero, because they are hurting now.
All right, quick story here. Ledger Live got put on blast overnight here by Wrecked Builder. I'll take the quote immediately from the post. Basically, every single file on Ledger Live has user trackers in them. He's cleaned a bunch, and there's still 310 files. Ledger really wants to know what you're doing on Ledger Live. Another report that we got as well, at least like personally and anecdotally, was one of our friends who had ordered the Ledger STAX had his order canceled. So Ledger STAX was their upgraded hardware wallet that had that like really cool interface. They canceled it. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. Also, Ledger Live is like one of their main products as well on the software side. So the fact that it has this many tracers, I mean, they're coming under some FUD here.
Yeah, that's very bearish, because that's been a long time coming, and everybody's very excited about that product. They had the demos out. I remember it feels like that was forever ago. About a year. So the fact that they're canceling orders now, that's not good. Hopefully my ledger is not gonna anyway. All right, I don't even want to like speculate on where that's gonna go. We'll have to follow up on that, but yeah, not good there. All right, Valyria is doing better. Valyria Studios founders box is sold out in less than 23 seconds. It was a small supply. It was only about 327 cases, and then there were 72 boxes as well. But yeah, selling out in less than a minute there. And people saying it was a pretty smooth experience overall. Floor price on their marketplace now basically sitting just below 1 ETH for these cases. So you can get a look at what they look like here. The cases on the left, boxes on the right, originally priced at 0.28. So that's a solid 3x. Or so.
Yeah, we actually have the founder on NFT Live. So we've already talked to him last week on GM Web3, our X Spaces show. Now we're going to have him on NFT Live so that we can get the visual component here. I will say this is what happens when you make millionaires or maybe six figures for your holders from back in the day, because Valyria is pumped up, obviously crazy. They're going to continue to buy your products.
Yeah, there's some hardcore fans there, and I, the whole land thing I've been kind of skeptical about because of how the metaverse played out in the last run. But when you do it this way and you are rewarding people all along the way like this, and people are doing well, then it works.
All right, GIF, avoid your eyes here. The best Polygon NFT collection continues to make its rounds here. The Mugshot Edition is going to be the next iteration of Trump NFTs, and a website straight out of 2005, folks. We got digital trading cards, only $99. If you collect all 47, and it has to be all in one single transaction, you'll get both a piece of the president's actual suit from his famous mugshot and dinner at Mar-a-Lago with the president. And look, before you FUD this thing, I think that's more utility than 99% of NFT projects have actually delivered for their holders.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hype this grift up. So you know what? If you get into it now, there's a good chance that it does go up in the next election cycle. I am not gonna be getting into it. I just can't support this. But hey, Mugshot Edition, probably should have seen that coming. And hey, there's some creativity there, I guess. Flooring protocol is rebranding. So let's talk about that. It's now the Floor protocol. It got a new domain, fp.io, and their point with this, the goal of this rebrand is to increase the translation potential across the world. Apparently Floor just translates better than flooring, and they want to redefine the concept of floor price. So there's a whole thread here from Free Lunch Capital, the founder behind this. He gets into all the details. How does governance work? What will FLC holders get? All of this is in this thread. Again, you can check out all of this in the description on this video or on our X profile, since we can't cover it all in this video.
Yeah, I don't think by any means flooring or Floor and Free Lunch Capital are working in the shadows. Like, people know about this really larger and more dominant fractionalization platform, but I think everybody's eyes right now are on Solana and all of these other layer twos. These guys are doing really good work on the fractionalization front and the tokenomics front. I expect them to be really strong. They've talked about adding different token rewards to the platform. That's why me and you both got involved. So I'm interested, man. Like, these guys do good work.
FLC token might be a sleeper. It might be one of those that like you forget
Yeah.
about, that has like all of a sudden they release a big update and then it goes crazy.
Yeah, agreed.
Not financial advice.
This one's from Kagi here. Shout out to the Juice Master himself. Gods Unchained kick out of Epic Games. It looks like the old school, and I say old school because they were building, I think in 2019, maybe earlier. The TCG there over on Immutable was removed from Epic Games and said to be adults only for the play to earn elements. So this is one of the first times that I've seen this when it comes to labeling something as an adult content based on the just tokenomics and blockchain mechanics, where it's like free and open economics there and movement of capital. That it's extremely bearish. If anything actually comes out of this, it might just be something that they need to work out with Epic Games, but hopefully this isn't like a larger thing that other games have to deal with.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people feel like this is an L for the Web3 space in general, and that this is kind of, you know, our producers and studios and games getting bullied around because we're just not big enough for there to be a big enough outcry. There's not enough of a pushback, you know, like they don't really feel it when they take actions like this against Web3 games right now because it's not a big enough audience. So, you know, what's the solution? We just need more people in the space. We need to get bigger, and we need our own competing platforms that, you know, have fully integrated DeFi and et cetera. But that all takes time to build. So we're still building, and we're still on our way up. We're not there yet. But anyway, Pegaxy, great name, Studio Mirai Labs behind this game is also leaving Polygon. They're the latest to leave the train. They're on the train leaving the Polygon station, I should say. And it seems like there's quite a few jumping on this train right now, saying that they think they're heading towards greener pastures over on AVAX, so on Avalanche subnet. And here's a quote. They actually said, "We looked at what was readily available on the tech side and went with Avalanche. Turns out they actually help." That's kind of a swipe. That feels like kind of a swipe at Polygon here. Not gonna lie, since that was a quote from one of their founders.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blow up anybody's spot here, but I've heard from different founders and different builders as well that this is something that's common with Polygon. They're not that attentive to the builders there. Also, the community isn't that strong. It seems like even projects like AVAX, who are extremely awesome builders and just innovators, they seem to be insular. Like there's no cross like collaboration that you see on maybe a Ronin blockchain or maybe some things that are going to be popping up on Avalanche. So I don't blame Pegaxy for this move.
I'm going to stick by my guns on this one. I just think that Polygon should be the B2B chain and own that and stop trying to be B2C. I don't think that they can compete with Ronin or Solana or AVAX for being like cool B2C, awesome front end experience. I just don't think that's them.
All right. Sounds good. This was the daily rehash. We will be back tomorrow. Of course, GM Web3. We're going to be sitting down with Mike Finch from Parada Capital, talking macro moves and other things. He's getting into the DeFi game, the Bitcoin Ordinals game as well. And then we have NFT Live right after that. We'll see you tomorrow.
Our Viber Tribe.